Hello and welcome to Two Trees Gaming. We've got a discussion video for you that we filmed in the middle of May, just before the Warhammer World Doubles Tournament. It's an 800 point tournament where half the scoring is to do with how well you play in the game, and the other half is how sporting you were and how well painted your army is. And I can tell you with the benefit of hindsight that we actually ended up winning somehow. So thrilled to bits with that. We'll have a proper video on that soon as well, but you will get to see us pick the army list today, and Aaron's going to be mocking it, thinking it's terrible, so you'll get to know that we actually ended up winning and disregard everything rubbish he says about our army. We're also going to be taking on an AI at Middle-earth Strategy Battle Game Knowledge, and we're going to be building a Legendary Legion, which we accidentally released early onto a Facebook group to a mixed reaction. What I will say is we don't know what the other people are going to pitch, and for this particular one, Louis decided he was going to pitch it and then abandon us, leaving me and Aaron to kind of rescue the situation. You'll also notice that I'm on a handycam. That's because my setup is in the garage. I'm filming the making of a board for our 3,000 subscriber special. Can't wait for that one. We've actually received a little care package from Baron of Dice, so we're going to be using their dice in it, and hit the link in the description. Go buy some Baron of Dice dice. They're incredible. Our Patreon ones are being made at the moment. Cannot wait to see those. And I really hope you enjoy this video. We'll see you soon. Oh, and these are the boards that we made. So this is mine and Louis'. That's how that ended up. And then this is Aaron and Leon's. But we'll get into those in another video. Enjoy. Hello, welcome to the Two Trees Gaming... Aaron and Louis are talking in my ear. Hello, welcome to the Two Trees Gaming podcast. As I said at the end of the previous one, I'm still kind of stuck sitting down because of surgery, and I can't actually make a display board or do any painting at the moment. We're still a week or two out from the doubles tournament, so hopefully I'll be able to paint a model or two to add to an army, but I'm not in a position to make a display board for us or anything like that. So we've had to change our army, and we're going to base it around what Louis already started making for the Throne of Schools tournament that was going to be in December. We're going to bring that forward and use it for our doubles. So we're going to be building an army for Razgush and his spiders, and doing our usual stat quiz, having a tweak, building a Legendary Legion, and going from there. And I'm joined, as usual, by my brothers, Aaron.
Who?
And Louis.
Hello.
What's everybody been doing hobby-wise this week?
I've been converting some 6 Citadel Guard that I mounted.
Oh, nice. Are you showing that to the correct camera? I'm just going to ask you that right now.
No. There we go. Yeah, and then that one's halfway done. So all I've done there is I've just chopped their hands off, and then all the knights, and then sculpted thumbs, turned the bows upside down, shaved the thumb off, and then sculpted other thumbs. So you can kind of see that tiny bit of green stuff.
It's actually like a really good way to convert them. I mean, my first thought is, if you're going to make a Citadel Guard, you're going to chop them at the waist, the metal guys, and stick them on a knight, but actually the cloaks are sculpted and all that kind of stuff. That is such a better way of doing it.
Is that a 10 times better way of doing the fountain court that I did? With just a big blob of pink as the hand?
So how did you do that?
Just a massive blob of green stuff and then painted it pink afterwards.
I've been preparing our Halloween content because I can't do anything, because I can't paint and I can't model. I'm stuck at the computer or stuck sitting down. So I've made a little mini game, and I'll show you the rough version of it, but it'll be a lot better when Halloween comes around.
In 6 months.
Basically what it's going to be is Aragorn making his way through the Paths of the Dead. So you've got the King of the Dead, and then Aragorn, Legolas and Gimli are on a track, which is essentially going to be like these plain stone cards, and they'll flip over and turn to skulls as time goes by, because the skulls all cave in on the extended edition.
Yeah.
And the King of the Dead is going to be trying to second guess whether Aragorn, Legolas and Gimli are going to try and persuade him to join their side, or whether they're just going to bolt and get out. Because you've got to get Aragorn out, but you've got to have also got a bit of influence with the King of the Dead. It's a lot to explain, but honestly, it'll be a good video.
Is this the game you pitched to Games Workshop that you didn't get the job for?
Yes. That's for another video. I did apply for a job at Games Workshop, and it didn't go very well. But like, I got to the next round, and I'll talk about it another time. But yeah, this is the mini game for that. With them, it just used regular playing cards, so it's quite hard to read. It was like black card equals this, red card equals that. This has got like artwork and things like that. So it'll be good. We'll try it out before doubles, and then we'll get it on for Halloween is the plan. If it isn't the Halloween content, you know it didn't work very well. These guys hated it, and we're just doing some regular battle between spiders and Army of the Dead. So,
Spiders versus Army of the Dead.
There we go.
Spiders versus Army of the Dead would be a good fight.
That's
People
what people
that.
want. Give the people
Yeah.
what they want. Yeah.
Nobody wants a minigame, they just want Spiders versus Army of the Dead. Every episode we'll try and do a little quiz of some sort, and we're going to add to the scores to the Two Trees Gaming leaderboard. Louis has 1, I have 1, Aaron has 0. Aaron is now supplying the quiz, so it's going to give me or Louis the opportunity to go 2 points ahead.
So, okay, this is called Are You Smarter Than a Robot?
Okay.
So I have taken some categories and I've put them into Chat GPT and asked it to name the best or the worst of a set category in the Lord of the Rings strategy battle game. And I want you to guess what the robot thinks are the best or worst of these questions.
Okay.
That's amazing.
So we're going to start easy. So I've got 5 categories, and I'm going to have to give you some hints for some of them because there's 1 or 2 where the robot went rogue. So okay, the first one is the 5 best elf hero profiles in MESBG.
Well, if it's not got this one, I'm going to be angry at the robot. Gil-galad.
Nope. Not on that. I knew you'd say that first up as well. That's why I started with that. Doesn't think Gil-galad's very good.
Legolas.
Yeah, number one. Number one, versatility. I'm going to help you.
Everything.
It favours versatility. If you can get the word versatile into there, it likes it.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go Glorfindel.
No.
No,
So-
what? What?
No Glorfindel. He's not versatile.
I want to fight the robots army list. There's a future video. I'm going to take on the robots army list.
Bearing in mind he's got a little bit of magic and his foresight points and all that kind of thing, Elrond.
Yes, obviously Elrond. Yeah. Jake, what hero do you think? Lindir?
Okay, Thranduil.
Yeah, he's number 2.
Yes. Yes.
I feel like the obvious ones have gone. Arwen.
No, not Arwen. She does appear on some lists that I tried, but no, not on this one. Okay, I'm going to give you both 1 guess each.
Okay.
1 is very surprising, 1 appears on any list you put in Elf.
I don't want to list a load and then Louis is jumping on my ideas. So I'm going to go, and I think it'll be, because they can do a lot and they are versatile, because I'm taking your hint, I'm going to go for the twins, Eldan and Elra here.
Ooh.
Oh, so close.
No!
No.
I'm going to go for Celeborn.
Oh, Galadriel.
Oh, I went as either
Galadriel.
or.
And so the list in order is Legolas, Thranduil, Galadriel, Haldir, Elrond.
So Louis, you got 1, and then there's 2 rounds left, so let's see.
Okay. The 10 most important characters in The Lord of the Rings.
Ooh. 10 most important characters.
Yeah, we'll let Jake shoot first.
Okay. Frodo.
Number 1, yes.
Aragorn.
Yes. Number 3.
Gandalf.
Number 2.
Legolas.
Yes. Number 8.
Legolas? There's only one character who's actually more important than anybody named, and it's Samwise Gamgee.
Yeah, Sam is number 4.
Yes.
Theoden.
No, that's a rubbish answer. No.
That was such a bad shout. I think it's
Yeah.
favouring good, but I'm going to ignore that and I'm going to say Sauron.
Yes, Sauron is number 6.
Well, I'll go with the Witch King of Angmar.
No Witch King.
Oh.
No Witch King. You need number 5, number 7, 9, and 10. And you've got 2 good and 2 evilly good.
Okay, and how many ahead am I?
Your 4 is 4-2.
It's got to be Boromir.
No.
Boromir is number 10.
Oh,
Number 10.
Just in there.
I'll just go Gimli.
Yeah, Gimli's number 9.
So we've got 2 left to get.
2 left, 5 and 7.
It's in terms of the robot, like, important for the story to progress.
I just said important and let the robot decide.
Okay.
If it helped, I imagined it as Arnold Schwarzenegger picking it in the Terminator.
In that case, I'm going to say Meriadoc Brandybuck. That was Austrian.
What was that? What was that?
That was
Austrian. That was like you doing a bad impression of Gandalf. And no, he's not on there.
Oh.
No, Mary.
I'm going to go Saruman.
Yes, Saruman. Jay, you need this. Louis might pull this back to a tie.
Okay, so this is the last one if I get it. So we've had the Fellowship except Pippin, but Merry wasn't there. So it's not going to be Pippin. Oh,
well, arguably, Pippin's what causes Gandalf the White.
I get it, but it's not. It's Gollum.
Gollum, yes.
It's Gollum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back in the game.
6-4.
That was good. I enjoyed that.
Okay, let's go. The 5 best spellcasters.
After you, Luke, I went first last time.
Gandalf the White.
Yes. Yeah, he's number 2.
It's got to be. I'm gonna lose points again, but it's Sauron. No, you're joking. He's the best spellcaster.
No, not Sauron. No.
Okay, there is one better in fact. Okay, yeah, there's one better.
I'll go with Saruman.
Yes, he's number 1. Jay, why don't you say something else that's stupid?
Well, look, this is not my suggestion. This is me saying the next best spellcaster after Saruman and Sauron is the Witch King with the crown. But it's not going to be, is it? It's going to be King Radagast. The Witch King.
Yes. Number 4.
Yes.
Number 4 for the Witch King.
I'm going to go back the other way. I'm going to go Galadriel.
Yes.
Oh.
So this is a panel. Oh, Louis 3-1 off. Go on, Jake. Try and salvage some pride.
Okay, well, Radagast the Brown.
Yes, well done.
Yay, we got all 5. We are going to do you do Chat GPT and I'll do whatever Google's AI is. We'll ask them for the best 500 point list and we're just going to play them against each other.
Oh,
Whether it's legal, not legal, whatever it is.
I did a test and I said, can you do me a 1,000 point Citadel Guard list? And it gave me Dane Ironfoot, Erebor Captain, Berigond, 24 Citadel Guard and 24 Iron Hills Dwarves. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Fair enough, that would be a good army. That would do pretty well. It costed Dane at 230 points, but I still looked at that and went, yeah, I think that army would beat most armies.
Okay, so we've got the doubles tournament coming up 2 weeks from now. This video is going to release after. We're still catching up in terms of the podcasts. And it's myself and Louis teaming up. We've been through Aaron's list in the last one. He's joining up with Leon, taking Aragorn and Gandalf the White with the Knights. So myself and Louis are now pivoting away from the Angmar that we had because I just haven't got time, or I'm not able, to make a display board or fell beasts and things like that. So we're going to go for the Razgush army list that Lou is kind of working toward for Throne of Schools. Do you want to tell us what your initial thoughts are, Lou? And then we haven't properly discussed it, so we're going to try and build the army list here and now, and then talk about the display board, and then we'll see what Louis brings on the day.
So my Throne of Schools, obviously, it's 1,000 points. So I wasn't going Legion, but I was taking Razgush, and then I was allying in, so Razgush and the Witch King. And then and then I was building the cave, so underneath the cave, loads of spiders and bats and things. And then on top was going to be some sort of scene, maybe a great beast of Gorgoth knocking trees down. But then obviously got to now tone it down for 800 points. So I'm still thinking, I've got the board, so I'm still thinking something above, some spidery below with the Spider Queen. I was also taking Shelob as well, Shelob and the Spider Queen. And Felbeast would have been amazing, but you've ruined that for everybody.
So you were going to do Shelob, Great Beast, Witch King, Spider Queen, Razgush, and then whatever else is left for Orcs and Spiders.
Yeah, it was going to be amazing.
It's insane. It's insane. Obviously, there's merit to that. The whole yellow ally thing. I don't want to. We've got to think about the doubles scenarios, and there's. I think we need as we talked about last week. You need a good leader. And you need mobility, but there's one thing that you can do to kind of game the double scenarios a little bit, and that's use the Legendary Legion, which this would lean into. I'm happy to not use the Legendary Legion, but using the Legendary Legion can guarantee who your leader is. So you know there's 6 scenarios and half of them have you split. So you're starting in the middle or you're defending a position. And it means that then you can have all your speed and your pace in the other half. So you can kind of rush up and you might be able to 2v1 one half of their army. Whereas if we did the yellow ally, you're rolling random. And if we end up with mobility and all, I don't know.
So in the Legion, you say, right, Razgush is your leader, and you just pack him in with a bit of a wall of something, and then obviously you have the Spider Queen in the other half, who already has mobility. Load of spiders and bats and wags and stuff.
Yeah, you've got to go for that.
I think that is the way to do it.
6 games across the weekend, you're fighting elves at least once, maybe twice.
Particularly in doubles, because I think the Rivendell Knights lends itself quite nicely.
Let's assume we're going for the Legion.
Oh my god, wait, can you do 400 points of Rivendell Knights allied to Boromir on a horse, Legolas on a horse, and Aragorn on a horse?
Oh my god.
Have I just picked the greatest list that's ever been designed?
Because Aragorn on a horse, 170, 280, 390. You probably could and give Aragorn armor and a bow. Yeah, no Andril.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
I'm gonna write that down for next year.
You don't want either of those starting in the middle, though. That's your issue. Whereas this Razgush one, having the line of troops there, I guess you want orcs and bats and things. What do you think? What's the starting point then? So one half's going to be led by Razgush, one half's going to be led by the Spider Queen. Where are we going from there?
I get to choose because I'm doing all the work. So I want to use the Spider Queen, and I've got to start on some good spiders.
Let me talk through what the actual Legendary Legion is so that people know what we've got to choose from, because I need to remind myself of it as well. So our options are Razgush, he's the war leader, he's got to lead the army, and basically he's anti-elf, he's fight value 5, strength 4 to Louis' dismay, and he's got 3 attacks, 3 wounds, 3 might. He's pretty good, and he's got elf bane, so he can cause D3 wounds per wound. Is this the point where we talk about that Heldir that you killed?
Yeah, how many wounds was it?
I've just started editing the GT video, and basically there's one, Louis left me a voice note, and he said, oh yeah, and Razgush did nothing all game until the last turn when him and a spider trapped Heldir against a wall, and between them caused 16 wounds because Elfbane went off over and over again and he was surrounded. So we'll take Razgush. Razgush is the leader. So then we've got Orc Captains, Orc Shaman, Orc Taskmasters, and Orc Drummers, and the Spider Queen. So they're the other hero options.
How many points is Razgush? Is he 110?
Razgush is 110, yeah. And then the Spider Queen's 115. You've got Orc Warriors, Wag Riders, Orc Trackers, with the options for Wags, although that would require some converting, so that might not be possible. Mirkwood Spiders, Giant Spiders, Fell Wags, and Bat Swarms. So the Spider Queen, move 10, can climb over anything. Fight value 6, strength 6, but only defense 4. 3 wounds and no fate, so she's got a massive flaw there. Defense 4, 3 wounds, no fate. 2 attacks, 3 might, 3 will, but she's got heroic strike and she's got monstrous charge, terror, and venom. Venom's going to let her reroll all failed wounds.
She also has heroic defense.
And sorry, heroic strike and heroic defense, yeah.
Yeah.
And then her special rule is progeny? Don't know how to say it. Progeny. During at any point in her move phase, the Spider Queen may expend any number of will points to summon a broodling. For each will point expended in this way, place a single broodling base anywhere within 3 inches of the Spider Queen, but not in base contact with an enemy models. Broodlings may move and charge on a turn in which they were summoned.
So I think there's 2 or 3 things there. There's like a defensive one where they can peel guys off Spider Queen to defender. There's an aggressive one where you can surround. She has monstrous charge, so not often that necessary. But there's that other one where you can slingshot because they can move after they're summoned. She can move 10, and then they can split another 10 inches towards objectives, and you can make up 20 inches of the board.
Well, and with the moving 3 inches of her base as well, you're getting 23 inches, so you can drop yourself on objectives. Yeah. I think if you could use the Spider Queen right, which might be a problem. I think should be very, very good, actually. I'll just go through the rules for the Legendary Legion, then we'll see what we think is the best way to build it. Friendly infantry models gain the Woodland Creature special rules.
Woo!
Death of Elves. Friendly models gain the Hatred Elf special rules, so that's including the spiders. And then War Leader. Razgush gains a bonus of +1 fight value when engaged with an enemy elf model.
It's a great legion.
It's not even the best spider-based legion in this book.
Did you turn one page?
I mean, Louis got 2 favourite heroes, which you're going to hear about, I'm sure, in the future of the channel. But when Louis starts building an army, it's Earl the Young or it's Razgush. So this is our first foray into the world of Razgush on Two Trees Gaming. So what are you starting with in your half then? So you're the secondary half. I'm in the middle. I'm Razgush as the leader. You're the Spider Queen. What are you thinking of how you're going to get to me and help?
So mobility, and one key thing I'm going to put in straight away is a banner. So a wide rider with a banner to follow Spider Queen around. I think that will, with defense 4, you can't risk losing the combat. So wide rider with a banner to follow her around, 5 or 6 spiders, then at least 1 bat, and then maybe a few fell wags.
I've got 355 on a piece of paper here.
Go on.
Yeah, go on.
That is Spider Queen Bat Swarm, 6 spiders, Wag Rider with banner, 2 Wag Riders and 3 fell wags.
And with 45 points spent.
Are you tempted to have a captain, knowing that you're the one that's coming to me? Is it to add the heroic march? If you're adding 3 inches to their move, or an extra point of might to be near the Spider Queen, so she's not wasting her 3 might to get a heroic move or something?
Well, I really like what Aaron just said. Can you drop 10 points from that and then get the captain, wag, and shield 55 points? Because a bit of disposable might in my half, like you say, 2 heroic moves guarantees the charge for the Spider Queen.
You could drop to 2 fell wags and take the shields off the 2 Wag Riders.
I don't want to make it gross either, but would taking a spider out for 3 or 4 trackers that can just stay at the back, out the way, shoot, ping an objective to up the breakpoint. If my half of the army is in the middle and that we get drawn against Aaron, who's got Gandalf the White, Aragorn, all cavalry, and they get to me before you get to me, I'm absolutely screwed. All I've got is orcs. My breakpoint, we could be broken before you even arrive. Having 4 trackers stood at the back, or being on an objective so that they're not incentivized to kill us, might actually help.
Yeah, that's not a bad shot.
Well, I suppose you could swap a spider for the captain and 2 trackers.
Yeah, I think that's what I would do with that. So you've got 5 spiders in that half. The Spider Queen. We need to decide what kind of spiders, obviously. Then you've got your 3 Wag Riders. One's got a banner, a couple of fell wags, 4 trackers, and a captain.
I think the trackers are doing your thing.
Not necessarily, because by the nature of an orc tracker, are they not like out exploring? They stumble across the spiders in the cave.
Where do you stand on Mirkwood spiders versus giant spiders?
I've used them a few times, and the paralyze, I've never been able to get it off when I really need it. It's come off once or twice, but never against a big target, or you can't rely on it. So I would go 1 just for a bit of threat range and a bit of if you come up against a Smaug or something, it gives you another little trick. But 1 max, I think.
How many numbers is that?
That's 16.
16 models. So it's not the end of the world, that.
It's not bad, bearing in mind you're the numbers. You should be looking at 24, 25.
So if we went Razgush and then, I don't know, 14 orcs with him.
14? I can't do that maths in my head. 10 orcs. Razgush and 10 orcs.
Or 15. 10 or 15. I'm just thinking if it was 14 and a bat swarm, that's his warband, you see. That was the thinking.
No, 15 orcs. I'm doing this all in my head. 15 orcs is 90 points.
Can you not take 6 off 90?
We need a captain in that side, but on a wag with a shield, so that's 55.
Yeah.
Would you have a shaman, Lou, or would you go captain?
No, I'd go captain, because the shaman bears no relevance to the spiders at all.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I think because you're in the middle, to get us broken, you're going to be dead. Do you know what I mean? If I was in the middle, kill all the spiders, there's some benefit to the fury. But I think before the fury kicks in, all your orcs are dead anyway.
Yeah, that's actually true, yeah. So go captain then. Do you think we need more orcs? Should I have some spiders or should I have bats? I've got painted, which is part of the reason we've gone for this. I've got foresty based orcs that have never hit a tournament, never been used, but they look pretty good by our standard. And I've got a couple of forest based spiders, but I don't want to ruin the theme of the display board.
That's cool. A few spiders on top is cool.
Razgush, 15 orcs, a captain, a banner for one of the orcs, and then 6 spiders is 400 points.
We're done.
I think I would drop.
It's not.
Yeah, I'd drop 3 of the spiders for a bat swarm, and then however many more orcs you can get.
I'd go trackers. If you drop 3 spiders, you get a bat and 5 trackers.
Yeah.
Yeah, which you could take 5 trackers because you've got 15 orcs. So yeah, so that, I think that's probably what I'd look to do.
That's pretty good. I've got to go. Can I give you my Legendary Legion and then you can batter it and then see how it comes out the other end?
Yeah. Do you want? Can you just show us, literally just for 1 minute, can you just show us your display board?
Ah, sick.
You've got a magnetised base for your spiders and Mirkwood and Spider Queen. And then you've also got a base, walls, map a few on there. And then on top there's a whole new platform of trees and stuff. So it's going to be quite big. So got a few ideas for the walls. They're using like plaster of Paris rocks, so they're going to fill in the gaps. Or just use the stippling effect that I've used with the filler. Or whatever you guys think, I don't really know.
I like it. My only thing is the corners. That's the only bit I don't like because obviously it's a bit right angle-y. So I just think even like a diagonal piece of foam in there would do it. If I've got an empty box here. There's an empty box. If you were to get like putting a bit of foam out or something, you know what I mean? Like all of a sudden it doesn't look quite as much like boxy.
Yeah.
But that's my only thing. But actually, the magnetising and the trees on top, and I actually love the size of it as well. If the orcs in your half can obviously have the cave base and be walking along the bottom with the spiders above, like they're scouting out, like you say, that'd be so.
Yeah, like with torches.
If they had torches, oh my god.
Okay, I'm going to give you the Legendary Legion. The first 2 lines, you're going to be like, "This is the worst Legendary Legion in the world. Why would anyone do it?" And then by the end, you're going to be like, "No, this is too good."
Okay.
It's the reclaiming of Osgiliath. So it's before the extended scene where Boromir is flying the flag. So I'm going to say for the purposes of the Legion, and this is the rule number 1 you're going to hate, no flag for Boromir. No Royal Standard of the White City, whatever it's called.
What?
No. Which obviously everyone's like, what? That's stupid. That's crazy. But hear me out. So you never get to see, again, coming back to my King's Huntsman point, I like to see models that you never see. So Boromir with a lance, Boromir, Captain of the White Tower with a lance is insane. Every model gains the loyal to the captain special rule that you find with your Osgiliath vets. So every model within 6 inches of Boromir and Faramir gain +1 to the fight value. So that's why you can, the not having the flag is not the worst thing. So he's not fight 7 himself, but he's still got fight 5 rangers, fight 4 knights, fight 4 ministers. So then there's no citadel guard, no fountain court guard, no siege equipment, no bolt throwers. But Osgiliath vets gain the bodyguard special rule. So they're fight 4, but fight 5 within 6 inches, and their bodyguard, and also shield wall, which I feel like they should have anyway, because if they're veterans, why do they forget how to shield wall at some point? So then you've got those kind of buffs. And another one is, you wish now that our places had been exchanged. Boromir can spend Faramir's fate as if it was his own.
Oh, that's
You
nice.
could extend that to all resources, but I like that Faramir can die for Boromir.
Yes.
So there's a few extra little points. Do we need to max it at a certain number of cavalry? Maybe 50%, because you don't want this to just be like, this is just crapped on any Rohan force ever. You just like got fight 4 knights with lances and Boromir and with a lance and all that. So maybe it's not a cavalry force at all. I was thinking no knights, but then I think no one would take it. So I think max 50% cav. So then named heroes, I'm thinking just the ranger heroes, nothing else. And then a couple more. I put this, I don't think it's too overpowered. Gondor gains Hatred Orc, don't think they should have it. But I really have to go, so enjoy talking about that. And then I want to hear how it turns out in the end.
Okay.
See you later.
Right, bye.
So, I don't know if I'm not convinced on the 50% Knights rule. They don't often put things like that in to it, would be what I would say. But, particularly if you give them Hatred Orc, a Knight is getting +2 to wound an Orc on the charge.
I get what it's saying. It's like a ground skirmish as well. You can kind of justify not having the knights. It's not like a big cavalry charge in there, and there's not horses.
I personally think I would take the horse off Boromir and Faramir.
I kind of agree that it's an infantry skirmishing kind of thing, but you'd need to have a way of changing it. Like you need to fill in that niche for the cavalry. So you can obviously up their killing power by giving them Hatred Orc, which is quite cool, or something similar.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also you'd need to have the reach of the cavalry, which Bodyguard helps with a bit.
So I think you bring out, you give them an ambush rule.
Oh, like the Goblin mercenaries.
Yeah, like the Mablung or maybe even the Damrod and the 3 cheap ranger heroes that are all the minor heroes.
Yeah, so they all get 6 each. They could each get that rule. I really like that. Madril's got his own thing about arriving on, so I think he's done for that. And then the other 2 can arrive. Faramir is like a commander, so he's there with Boromir. But that's cool. So if you've got Faramir, Boromir, Madril, a couple of captains, and then Rangers popping up round the back and things like that.
Yeah.
If you're taking the leaders' horses and you're taking the knights out the list, you do need something else. Because at the moment we've got Boromir spending Faramir's fate, which is unlikely to come up in a useful way. And then
yeah. Well, except I think you're making your army fight value 4. Well, round.
Well, yeah. So then you've got the other rule. You're making a fight value 4 or fight value 5 if it's veterans. Yeah. But really, you can get that from the veterans anyway.
Just Boromir, just do the 2 brothers count as banners?
You could do that. Feels safe, doesn't it? But you could do that. Maybe Gorbag and Shagrat style rule. They're competing for Denethor's love. If Boromir's got more kills, Faramir gets +1 to wound. If Faramir's got more kills, Boromir gets +1 to wound. I like that idea.
Except then, if you give them Hatred Orc, you +1 in +1 in +1.
Is that not cool with Boromir? Because Boromir doesn't have any other benefit, so he'd basically go up to... So he kills a Moranon on 5s, that is defense 6 Moranon on 5s. That'd become 4s and then 3s.
Yeah.
Which with Boromir, and that's only if Faramir's ahead, which is unlikely.
Yeah, so then you're saying that Faramir should be out killing Boromir.
So then Faramir would end up killing him on 3s until he overtook Boromir. It becomes about the brothers. I like that it becomes about the brothers.
Yeah.
I would probably go for something like that. We haven't got the third person here to decide which is the right way. It's just super awkward now.
I'd definitely go for a banner. I'd make them a banner. Because again, he's taken the banner off.
Yeah, he's building a legion, so you use a model that's not normally in the game.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that scene, though, is where the banner is based on. He's at the top of Osgiliath like that, and he's got the banner.
I kind of thought that as well. Yeah, but he said it's just before. It's just before.
No, I'm not going for that. People are. If that came out in the rulebook, the rules writer would be absolutely slated. Like, why hasn't he got the banner? The picture for it would be that with the banner. Lou, we're overruling you. He's having the banner. But then what you do? You've got to level it out. This is how you do it. Your Osgiliath veterans obviously lost their benefit there, or you want it to be more about the Osgiliath veterans. You give just the Osgiliath veterans Hatred Orc. And the brothers. So for me,
yeah.
You've got... I'll talk you through what I think it is, and then you tell me if you think it's too much or not enough. You've got ambush rule on the 3 minor ranger heroes. Yep. I like that a lot. I think that's really cool. You've got Osgiliath veterans get Hatred Orc and Shield Wall to make them more viable. And then you've got Boromir and Faramir both receive Hatred Orc, but they can't take their horses. So that's the trade-off there.
Yeah.
Chance to show their quality. That's the competition. So whoever's got least kills, the other one gets +1 to wound. So that would stack with Hatred Orc. And then I wish that your places had been switched. Boromir can use Faramir's fate.
You know what? Instead of the +1 to wound, because we've already got a +1 to wound, I would say it becomes Lord of the West. Whichever one is behind can roll a dual dice and a wound dice. Yes. And then they still get the benefit of a banner as well. So it makes, if Boromir's behind it, makes him very difficult to kill.
Yeah, with the Horn of Gondor as well.
Protects Faramir.
It'd probably lead into good v evil tournaments if you've got Hatred Orc on half your models. But do you think you'd be looking at that, or do you think it would need something else? I think that's pretty good.
I think you could still give the Osgiliath Veterans Bodyguard.
Yeah, and yeah, you could do that. We want it to be about the skill effectiveness. And in terms of what Louis' main goal was from the start, even though we've absolutely pooed on it, there's a model that doesn't get used a lot, the Osgiliath Veteran.
Yeah. Yes.
I think that's actually a pretty cool list. I would go for that. I love the ambush rule. Louis is going to be very happy with this. Lou, let us know in the comments what you think.
Yeah.
So we'll end every podcast in the same way. We've got a tweak to the game. It's my turn to suggest one. Do you want a nice, safe little tweak that I think everybody will agree with, or do you want something horribly controversial that even I'm not sure is good?
Here, so do you want to pitch the controversial one?
I just don't know if it's right, but for me, Pikes, thinking about medieval warfare and the limited capacity I know it, should be more effective against cavalry in some way. So and also there's an inference that the Uruk-hai Pike warrior is armed with a sword or whatever, and they're using that in hand-to-hand combat. I think a Pike warrior on the front rank should get -1 to their duel roll, but negate or disadvantage a charging cavalry model.
Because you're not just giving them +1 to wound.
Or +1 to wound against cavalry, yeah, just to put cavalry off charging. So you have a second thought before you charge into a pike block.
I would tweak the pikes so that if all the models have a pike, the rule for the Eastlings applies for everybody.
So you get phalanx. Yeah.
So if the pike is only fighting through a pike, they get phalanx. The Eastling rule is that they can fight through they can have a shield and a pike, which nobody else can do, and they can fight through a guy with a sword and a shield and still back away. If you have a pike, you can back away in 3s. If everybody has a pike.
I actually like that. It doesn't solve my cavalry issue, which is the issue. Like thematically, I'm thinking, what's happening there? Something's not quite right. But maybe that's actually arguably going to make Pikes better.
No, but it then drops the defense on the front rank. That's the key to it. Is you don't have the defense 6 front rank. You have to have the pike. The only thing with your one, with the cavalry, you're then better not fighting through the pikes at all. You're better spreading them all out and having like a big row of pikemen rather than having them fighting through. You go, right, well, I'll row this.
Maybe, I mean, look, pikes don't need to be upgraded. I was just thinking thematically, what could you do? Giving them +1 to wound against cavalry is a good deterrent to the cavalry. But maybe it's, and like you say, it's spreading them out, and then maybe it's making them too good. And then you don't want the rule to get too niche, where it's like, oh, you've got to fight through another 2 pikes, and you've got to have this, and then you get +1 to it. It's too complicated. So maybe, maybe this is the first one that doesn't make it into our imaginary.
I know what you're trying to do with the pikes, except that the only time we see the cavalry charge into the pikes, they absolutely obliterate them.
That's because all of those pikes got -1 to their duel roll.
yeah.
Look to the sun.
Which is a great legendary legion.
You know what? It just came to my mind. If anybody in the comments thinks there's a better way around it, let us know. But no. What has just gone out is our doubles review for last year. So people, you have now taught the world the greatness of the Riders of Eomer.
Oh my god. Yeah. I'm taking it to everything. It's the best legion.
Do you think, now that we've talked about Razgush, because making that video is what made me think Legendary Legions in doubles reviews. That's
that Legendary Legion would it wouldn't even.
But you benefit so much from having Eomer in the middle and Gandalf with his massive range coming in, the cavalry and mobility. Do you? For me, I think that Riders of Eomer is a great legion, but only in the context of doubles.
No, the Riders of it it's a very good legion against anything that relies on small model count armies that aren't hero based, which is what your Razgush one is. So it did really well against the Bjornins because they've all got 2 wounds.
Yeah, because it's
don't
cavalry.
count. Strength 4 attacks on the charge, -1. We just killed 8 of them in a turn. This Razgush thing is the same. Spiders are the same. I would go, we will just wipe out a spider. We'll just murder all the spiders in one go. In one turn, we'll go, right, all your spiders are dead. And then we're just picking off orcs. So that's where does well. So I would say where it wouldn't do so well is against like Goblin Town.
Right, and against Goblin Town, you're not like you're doing it for one turn. Let's say you kill 30 goblins. It's not enough. Like you say, against the Bayawning, you wipe 4 of those out. It's actually noticeable.
Yeah. Or if you played, it just like elves. We had limited impact against elves because they've still got the fight value. So you're almost then going, and you've got a spear and actually what everybody does is a shield. If they've not got the spearmen, so it's 2 dice on 2 dice. Yes, they've got the -1, but they've got the fight value. So it then becomes it makes it 50-50 against the elves. We wiped out Lake Town, absolutely obliterated the Lake Town.
In fact, the 2 games that you didn't win, it was elves and then the Cand and the Easterlings. And Cand is obviously fight 4 as well. And you were split for the Cand and the Easterlings.
Yeah.
Although I know you were unlucky with that one because Louis didn't shield with Arkenbrand in that last turn to give the +2 courage and absolute heartbreak.
Didn't shield with Arkenbrand. Yeah, which is a disaster. I really enjoyed the Legendary. I'd say I might take it to if we do the team championship. I think that would benefit because you compare it. You could pair it quite, but actually the one turn was. I mean, the Moran and Orcs, we obliterated them as well, but they held up better than most because they're harder to kill. Little bit defense 6, so they're a little bit harder to kill. And again, they've got a lot of models. And
you were lucky in that one because you shot down Guritz or whatever and then blasted Goroth away. They had no might points against the cavalry army. You just kept blasting Goroth away, didn't you? Okay, well, it's our doubles at Warhammer World is from now at the time of recording, 2 weeks from now. But you're probably watching this just a few days after we've finished it. We'll have a review up sometime in the next year, but it'll be soon. And hopefully there's a new Arnor supplement out for us to talk about very shortly. If not, we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you so much for watching. The next video will be the start of a race through Moria, with Aaron using the Fellowship of the Ring and me using the surviving members of Thorin's company at the time of Bilbo's 11th birthday. To our Patreons, our wizards, you guys are incredible. Thank you so much for the support. It goes a really long way. And if you're not a Patreon, you can sign up for the price of a box of minis, and it really, really does help the channel. And if you've got this far into the video and you've not subscribed yet, please do. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again next time.